Stay tuned for urban legends to ghostly tales of the paranormal, because now it's time for
Message on the Wall.
Message on the Wall brings you the fairy flag. This story takes place on the Isle of Skye on the Scottish shores of Loch Dunvegan, where a castle has stood the centuries of time. The castle, Dunvegan Castle to be precise, once stood alone on the rocks, making access only viable by boat. Where other clans left their castles to fall into ruin, Dunvegan is not only still very much a home, but a home to the clan MacLeod, as it has been for the past 700 years. It's said that one of the clansmen married a fairy, thought to be the fourth chief of the MacLeod clan. The fairy was only allowed to live with her human lover for a short time, and it was shortly after giving birth to a son that she was recalled to return to her fairy folk. Her husband walked her to what is now known as the Fairy Bridge, and that is where they parted, but not before giving him the gift of a flag. The fairy flag, which is made of yellow silk, would also call the fairies for help when in dire need, but the flag may only be used 3 times and has already been used twice. The first was in 1490, when the MacLeods were in battle with a rival clan, the MacDonalds. In a desperate bid for aid from the fairy army, the flag was unfurled amidst the battle, and the MacLeods, against all the odds, overcame their enemy. It was a time when many of the clans fought for supremacy, and the MacLeods probably took the flag with them in each battle without it being unfurled. But once again things looked lost for the MacLeods, being heavily outnumbered, and so 30 years later the fairy flag was flown once again, and once again the battle was won as the enemy saw a vast army sweeping down upon them. And so the flag may only be used one more time, and the MacLeods have not been tempted to use it since World War II, when they would have been prepared had the Germans landed on Scottish soil, not just to protect themselves but the country as a whole. When there was a fire in 1936, it was thought the flag was responsible for much of the castle going unharmed by the flames. The flag, though tattered, now sits in its own glass case at Dunvegan Castle, where apart from those curious to prove its age and of man and not fairy, it goes untouched, protecting the castle and the MacLeods. You have been listening to Message on the Wall, brought to you in association with Paranormal Parodies. You can find Paranormal Parodies at paranormal-parodies.com.